Hi everybody, my name is Bonisile and you are watching Footy Notes. So today we're going to talk a little bit about one of the semi-finalists, Denmark. After losing their first two games to Finland and Belgium respectively, they won in very emphatic fashion against the Russians, their third game and last game of the group stage, 4-1, and qualified in spectacular fashion. In spectacular fashion, and Denmark was then, in the hat to go into the next round, where they met Wales and dispatch of Wales, and total demolition, 4-0 fashion. So they won 4-1 in their last game of the group stage, and then followed it through against Wales in a demolition job that's going to be impressive for a long time to come, because what happened in that game is what actually I expected to happen in the game between in the Italian game. I don't remember what Italy was playing in that first day of quarterfinals. Denmark just basically annihilated the Welsh with 4 goals from Dolberg 2, Myler 1, and then Braithwaite scoring the third goal in the 94th, 95th minute in injury time, to see them basically make easy work of Wales. I expected, actually, I remember the game now between Italy and Hungary. No, Austria. My God, what's wrong with me? Yeah, Italy beat Austria 2-1 in what was a really close game. And then I actually thought the game between Italy and Austria was going to be more what we saw in the Danish game, because Italy had been so imperious in the first round of games, winning almost all of them, actually winning all of them without conceding a goal, and scoring 3 goals a couple of times in those games. And then, they came into the quarterfinal stage, the second round stage, and ran into a very resilient, resistant, and hardworking Austrian team with some quality going on the counterattack. But the Danes handled business, dispatched off of Wales 4-0 in the second round, after which they then qualified to play a game in the quarterfinals against the Czech Republic, who had beaten the Dutch. I thought this game would be a much more challenging game, and it turned out to be as such. The Czech Republic, just like the Danes, a very well balanced, well coached team that play football, the right way, and they have a very good work ethic. So, I did expect this to be a tougher assignment for Denmark, but I expected them to win because of the way they had shown me that they're able to play as a team. I thought like they had better quality on the ball and had also more players in the Danish team who play in superior leagues in Europe. A lot of the Danish players play for good teams, some of which are playing in the Premier League. And then you have some playing in the Serie A and the Bundesliga as well. But with that said, I do think Denmark played. We saw 2 different sides to Denmark in this game. With the game at 0-0, they played with most of the ball and challenged the high press from the Czech Republic, and they were able to play their way through the different phases and play through the press and find themselves in business on the back end of the Czech defense. However, once they got themselves to 2-0, we started to see Denmark take a different approach and play a little bit more like smart football. Like they got a little bit more street smart, playing a little bit further back, and a little like mid to low block and trying to counterattack. Was a little bit more uncomfortable than I had expected, but credit to the Czech Republic, who created some chances of their own, to taking total of 16 shots and making 5 shots on target. But Denmark had actually like really good chances themselves. Like they had actually more shots on target, even though they took fewer shots than 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 their opponents, the Czech Republic. They actually had 7 shots on goal, like on target, versus the Czech Republic's 5 on target. And I do want to shout out Kasper Dolberg and Delaney for the goals, because Delaney is not renowned for goal scoring prowess. I mean, he plays from midfield, but Dolberg on the other end has been like a real revelation. He came in as a player to cover up for the guy Poulsen. He came in as cover for Poulsen, but yesterday it was credit to him that when Poulsen was available, the coach still stayed with Dolberg, because Dolberg had shown in the previous 2 games that he was more than capable of filling in those shoes. In fact, was more potent in front of goal. You know, Even though Poulsen is the more seasoned and gives a little bit more to the team in terms of like the team play and the press. Dolberg has done his chances of starting the semifinal no harm. So it's going to be interesting to see what actually ends up happening in the semifinal. But my God, Denmark have really done themselves proud and their nation proud. I don't know if they can repeat 1992, but I do think it should be a very exciting game, and I think there will be a much tougher game for England than if the Czech Republic would have won, who were also in the same group with England in the first round anyway. But like the really cool thing about this Danish team is their center backs are really seasoned and they tough at the back with Kasper Schmeichel too. Some of the really great balls that Vestergaard was able to play, as well as Christensen. Christensen and Vestergaard were really cute with some of their through balls and the way they play their front line in behind and played balls that cut through the defense. I was really impressed to see that. And then Myla with the two guys in the middle in Delaney and the guy from Spurs. He used to play for Southampton. Really good player. Højbjerg was also really good, and he has been like in all the games. And so a lot of these Danish players, and then you have Larsen, I think, on the right with the 3 forwards. A lot of the really good things about the Danish is that they just know who they are. They play total football and they share the ball really well. Even though you have some stars who play for Barcelona and all of that, a lot of them play good team football. It's hard to get to this professional level of football without egos, but their way they play seems egoless, and it's been really cool to see them come together and grow as a team from the kind of start they had. From losing the first 2 games to get to where they are now, where they are 1 game away from going into the final. I think nobody expected them to get this far, and it should be interesting to see them play against England. I wouldn't want to bet against them. I know they're playing against the favorites in the English, and they are playing with house money, meaning that they've got nothing to lose. So I really hope for a very progressive style of game from the Danish in the semifinal, because hanging deep and waiting for England to come in the semis will probably be a risky approach. However, I'm rooting for them, and hopefully we can have an underdog in the final that everybody can root for. And my favorites to win the tournament is Italy, but man, I'm really excited to see what Denmark has done. And the more and more the tournament goes, the less people are talking about what happened in that first game. Not that people have forgotten, but it just goes to show the great performances that this team and their manager behind, with those supporters behind them, goes to show how much those performances have basically erased some of the horror of that tournament, of at the beginning for the Danish people. I really do hope that there is a happy ending for them, but let's wait and see. For now, they've been the real dark horse in this tournament. I thought that would have been Turkey, but my God, Denmark have been amazing, to say the least. Long may the journey continue for them, all the way till next Sunday.